This would be on the computer, not on your phone. But if you go to this media tab, this is where we save all of the main stage weekend concerts. So you click on, I should go a little slower here. Back in the media tab, it's this little one right here, main stage weekend. And when you open the full thing, it says weekend concerts. And what I have here is these are all the concerts from the last, this looks like probably 3 months or so that are here. So the most recent one I put up was 2/14, so a couple weekends ago. So you just click on this, download it, right? It goes on the computer, and then how I organize it is I'll go to the Finder, right, and then go to Downloads, and then it's going to show up. I'll set it to do like by date added, so it should pop up to the top. Okay, so well, maybe not. Where did that go? It's in Downloads. They created. Oh no, still not there. What's this one called? Huh, that's weird. Okay, well, let's try it again. So if I download it. So where would that be? So if I just type in 214. Oh, you know what? I wonder if it's just the computer is trying to find like where the file is, right? So all the files are on here. It just doesn't know to look there. Okay. So what you have to do is these are like the plugins. So we're going to open these up and see where the problem is. So the good thing is by opening it up, it's going to tell you what the problem is. So this is saying the following ensemble, which is just a fancy name for the sound, is not found. It's looking for it here and it didn't find it. So it's like, can you help me find it? So we're going to say locate ensemble. Okay. And because we know it's in the hard drive, we're going to go to the hard drive, and then we're going to go to users, shared, and then here's where all the stuff is at, okay? So what you have to do is you have to look for the specific thing it's looking for, and it's called contour. Okay, so we're gonna go down here till we find contour, and I'm hoping that's in the list, because if it's not, then I'm gonna have to look for it. Okay, so it's not in the list, so that means it's somewhere else. So let me see if that is, where would that be? It could actually be in the main hard drive, so we'll just take a look real quick. Okay, so it's in a different spot. So what I did here, I'll go back. So it's in the Macintosh hard drive, users, shared, and then right here is contour. So I'm going to click that, and then it's this little E and S stands for ensemble. You click that, you click open, and then voila.
Could you type to the search bar? Wouldn't have found it.
You know, that's a good question. That might have worked as well.
Because then we wouldn't have to
Yeah.
click around it.
And the good thing is once we save this, it should automatically know to go back to find it in the same spot. So I'm hoping what I'm gonna do tonight is I'm gonna just create a concert that you guys can use from week to week. So it's just use this as your default one every week, and then this should not happen anymore. So now we'll go make sure this is working. Okay, so now cool, we've got sound coming out of here. Okay, and adjust the volume. So now we've got a nice pad. This is just kind of like a bright kind of texture sound to kind of layer on top of stuff. And you don't want it to be too prominent. It's just kind of nice to add a little... So I'm just going to get rid of this. I'm going to need this one. So I'm going to save this. Okay, so here's the next thing I'll show you guys. If you ever want to save a patch that you like, so there's a really easy way to do that. How MainStage works is there's 3 levels. There's the concert level right here, which is actually just the name of the file. And then you have these folders, which are called sets, and you have patches underneath the folders, okay? So what you want to do is you want to save this as a set. So I'm going to actually select the folder, go up to this little gear icon, I'm going to click Save as Set, okay? So I'm just going to call this Piano and Pad and export it. So now we have this sound saved. So anytime one of you guys needs to pull up this sound, like, okay, I need that for this service, you just go here and you do load patch set, and then you can go, here's actually where all the patches are saved. We have a lot of them. And you're gonna find piano and pad, which is right here. And click import, and then that's gonna load up exactly what we saved. So again, this should solve that problem of the computer trying to find the right file and all that kind of stuff. So because we saved it and it knows where it's at, it should just work, no problem. Okay, and it's also gonna save the volume levels that you had it set at last. So again, it's like once you get it dialed, it should just be set every single time and just work, no problem, right? Does that make sense? You want me to go over anything in the right channel? So what can happen sometimes, and it seemed to be just like a fluke thing with the keyboard. So I think I told Mario or someone how to reset it, and then they reset the keyboard and it reset all the MIDI channels to go to default, which is the best setup for this. So there's two things you can do. If you notice it's a MIDI issue, meaning like you're playing, like say for example, you're playing and like the pad sound is working, and you see up here, oh, there's MIDI signal going through, so that's working. I'm getting sound from another program, but for some reason the piano, there's nothing coming through. So like you said, Carol, you click on this and we're gonna look to see, is there any sound coming through here? Okay, well I'm not seeing anything there. And then you can also look right here, MIDI channel. So that's telling us that something is coming through. What can happen is if this gets switched to like a different port, so if I switch this to number 2, now it's not working.
Yeah.
Okay.
They just had us put it on Omni, I think.
Yeah, so you
And
can,
that tended to make it work.
if you do it on Omni, that just says I'm gonna look for signal from any channel and I'm gonna just use that. So
Okay.
It by default it should automatically be set to port A number 1, and that's what the channel they're all talking on. So
Okay.
if you do notice that it's that problem, I would just go here and first thing is try just select Omni and see if that fixes it, and that should work. So yeah, that's happened before. So that's
Yeah,
kinda
and
how
it's
you
always
fix
been
that.
like missing the keys or the piano part, but it had the pad
Oh, okay.
on times like that.
Yeah, and like I said, I think that was something to do with like the keyboard maybe.
Okay.
So if say for instance, somehow this gets changed to like MIDI channel 14, and you're like, I have no way of knowing that. You're not gonna have time to go through every channel and find, is it 1, 2, 3? You know what I
Right.
mean? Just switch it to Omni, and then whatever this is set on, it should
It'll
find
find
it.
it. Okay.
Okay. So yeah, what else do I want to cover? Funny stuff. So you kind of just have to test it in practice and see how it's feeling that day. If it's in a good mood, great. If not, like
Not stay on the same patch the whole time.
or what I'll do a lot of times is I'll just find another time in the song to switch. So like in a big chorus when you're not going to notice a switch, and I'll just like play something and then make the switch and then keep going before it's like a silent, awkward moment where it's like, oh.
Okay.
So you kind of just have to be flexible with that. But like I said, I don't know why it's so inconsistent, but it is. So.
And then if you go back to What a Beautiful Name,
Uh-huh.
and you just play a chord or something, and then let go, sometimes there will be one that just never, like they all
Just
fade
keeps
out
going.
eventually, but
Oh.
sometimes there'll be one that just never fades
Okay.
out. So we've often just like taken the volume out completely,
Okay.
but then we lose a pad.
Okay, so if that happens, there's a really easy way to fix it. You just go up here and you double tap that, and it's a MIDI reset. And what it does is it just clears out all the sustained notes. You go up to this little box and you just double click it, and it just says MIDI reset. And so that just clears out. Oh, now it's freaking out.
Yes.
Yes, we get this.
So that's something it's done before. Okay, so here's what I'm seeing. So this sound right here is the one that's giving us problems, okay? And this has actually happened before. It actually might, I wonder if the problem is actually this sound, because like I've used this one before and it does the same thing to me where it just freaks out, and it's messing up everything, not just the one sound. So I'm actually just gonna get rid of this from the program anytime. Okay, I think that's the only time it's there. So we're never gonna use that sound again, okay? It was called like, do you hear something? I don't know why it's called that, but it is. So that seemed to fix it. Yeah. Okay, so that fixed it. So you can look if there's something really weird happening like that. Just again, that sound is like not necessary. So just get rid of it and then find something else. So, but anyways, I'm gonna save this slow songs sets, and I just went to one different preset. Here, I'll solo it so you can hear what it sounds like by itself. Okay, so not what we wanted. So then I just went back to silent N, okay, which is what we wanted. So yeah, now here's what I did on these is I saved a couple of these like just go-to sounds in a really easy place to load. So this is called the channel strip section right here. So this is where you add channels if you want to add more instruments like pianos and synths and extra stuff, right? So what you do if you want to actually add a channel strip, actually I'll just do one from scratch. So under ministry patches, I'm going to go here. I'm going to create a new patch like this. So it's called Untitled. So I'm just going to call it like, what do you guys want to call this? Carol? What do you want to call it?
I'm like, you're naming it my name?
We're going to call it the Trinity patch.
Trinity patch, yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay. So this is our new fun patch. So we're gonna create, now it's blank, there's nothing here. So we're gonna go to the channel strip part, we're gonna hit this plus button, and we're gonna create software instrument, and let's create 3, okay? So 3 channels, okay, create, okay, cool, those pop up. So now, say you're like, yeah, I'm just wanting to create like a simple piano and pad sound that I can use. So what you're gonna do is go to setting up here, and under user channel strip settings, oh, there's nothing there. Where would they be at? Maybe they're not on here, so if they're not, I'm going to save some for you. Yeah, they're not on here. So here's what I'm going to do. So right here, I'm actually going to do this. I'm going to save this one. I'm going to do save as channel strip setting. I'm going to call it silent N, and now I'm going to see if this shows up here. Yeah, there we go. Silent N, okay? So you have a good go-to pad sound. Here's, I'm going to make sure this is the piano sound we want to use. That's decent. I think I might like this one better though. Okay, that one's cool, but it's like got a lot of reverb on there, so I think I might actually take that down a little bit. And then I'll save both of these. So I'm going to save this one as like piano option 1. And then we'll go back to this one and we'll save this as piano option 2. Okay, so now anytime you need to load something, so here, okay, we need to put that pad sound in here. Cool, there's silent N. And then we really liked that that piano sound we had. Whoops, so setting, user channel strip settings, and then piano number 1. Sweet, there we go. Okay. Oh, there we go. Okay, I think that was just in case it wasn't done loading, but that's happened to me before. Just gotta give it a second, so that's why we have practice and you make sure everything's working. But it seems like it's going good so far. Okay. So does that make sense? Kind of how you would make a basic patch and then load the sounds and pretty straightforward. Okay, so let's do this before I gotta leave like in about 5 minutes.